Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Okay, here's how Miro works. See, it's amazing.
What's everyone doing at David's desk?
Ever since marketing started using Miro's collaborative online whiteboard, he thinks all our other teams should sign up.
Why?
He says Miro's making his meetings disappear. And if every team gets on it, that means even less meetings. They're using Miro for brainstorms, mind maps, customer research.
So could we use Miro instead of having another 100 meetings for every round of feedback?
Yep. You can comment, react to ideas, even leave a recording on the board.
And what about presentations?
There are Miro templates for that.
How do you know so much about Miro?
I've actually been using it all along. I just used a Miro board to plan the best vacation.
Okay, I'm on board.
See how Miro users save up to 80 hours every year by meeting less and doing more. Get on board at Miro.com with 3 boards free forever. That's MIRO.com.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken: Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I'm going to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, A Man's Guide to Being the Hero of Their Own Story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma, removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken. The definition of courage is mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well, my friends. I was thinking about the power of words. If you remember, you may not because it's been a long time, I had an episode years and years ago about the power of words and how important it is to recognize that we as individuals choose and define what words in our life mean. And in that, I talked about how so often we can get offended, we can get pissed off, we can even get elated from the words that other people use with us and even the words we use with ourselves, and how important it is to define what words mean for you in your own life. And I was thinking about my values. And you guys, I've talked about my values a million times. This is not that episode. You know, my values are honesty, kindness, leadership, self-actualization, and no excuses. But when I was thinking about my values, I was thinking about the meaning that those have in my life. And I was thinking about courage all the time, probably more often than I actually want. Is people will message me and they'll be like, "Oh, you're so courageous for sharing your story." And I think to myself, but if I don't do this, who will? And there's something about the strength that I have. This is why I read the definition of courage, right? Mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. And I think about what it means to be courageous and how many of you guys are courageous and how incredible it is that you are here fighting this fucking battle day in and day out, trying to end generational trauma, trying to take back your lives, trying to be the hero of your own story, and doing it. And so many of you with great success. Like, it's so crazy to me when I see how many people sign up for the coaching program. So if you go over to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can learn more about that. And it's crazy to me when I see people sign up for that, go through the 6 weeks of daily intensive coaching, like just learning, and then come out the other side and be like, that thing changed my life. Like, that takes courage. And I think about my life, and maybe there's some courage in what I do, but I've come to the conclusion that I cannot not do it. There's no option. There's no negotiating of whether or not it is reasonable for me to show up and coach and lead. And so I was thinking about the word courage and coming back to this and being like, I'm willing to face fear, but can I be a proctor? Can I be a guide for the Unbroken Nation, the people in the courses, the people who read the books, the people who listen to this podcast, to find courage in themselves as well? And that's what's so hard about this journey is often, because of trauma, because of abuse, we learn to stop being courageous. Why? Because when we do try to be courageous, like there's some kind of pain or suffering. And so our brains go, you better not be courageous. It's going to get you fucked up. And then you realize like you have to be willing to step into that. You have to be willing to choose to be courageous and face your fear, something we've talked about many, many times on this show. Because on the backside of that effort and this endeavor is beauty, is power. And like when I was thinking about this meaning, and you think about the other words that go along with this, it's metal. It's spirit, it's resolution, tenacity, right? And you think about the amount of strain, the amount of difficulty, the amount of challenge, the amount of threat, the amount of stress that we're under, and how persistent you have to be and how unwilling you have to be to admit defeat. Like the thing that I think is so fucking incredible about the people who really go into Unbroken, who really step into this, they say, I am not going to be fucking defeated. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do the hard work. I'm going to answer the hard questions. I'm going to do this thing that is building my life every single day, day in and day out. I'm going to live life on my terms. And that to me is fucking amazing, because that is where this really takes shape. That's where like the truth of building and creating the life that you want to have starts to come into play. And so find the courage in your life. This is what I want you to think about. Can you find the courage in your life today to do it anyway, to do the hard thing, to do the uncomfortable thing, to do the difficult thing, to do the thing that you know is going to change your life? And can you define what courage means for you? Because for me, as I've sat with this, courage is about the willingness to do it anyway. We'll be right back to this episode of the Think Unbroken podcast in just a moment, but I wanted to invite you to come and join the Think Unbroken Discord community. If you don't know about Discord, it's being built on Web3, which is a platform that we as the users get to own. So no more Instagram or Facebook or algorithms getting in the way of you seeing and being a part of content. In the Discord channel, we're going to grow this to hundreds of thousands of community members, hopefully over time. But today it's small, it's close, it's intimate, where you'll be able to get access to live coaching with me, where you'll have chat with the Unbroken Nation community, where you can talk about a range of topics, anywhere from thinking about habits and growth mindset, goals, trauma, recovery, dating, relationships, career, accountability, business, meditation, feedback, and more. And so all you have to do is go to thinkunbroken.com/Discord. That's thinkunbroken.com/Discord. That's DISCORD to join the Unbroken Nation community. Despite the ridicule, which I get, despite the gaslighting, which I get, despite the hate, which I get, obviously I'm going to do it anyway. Courage to me is doing it anyway. Is showing up, building Think Unbroken, coaching, educating, writing books, doing podcasts, and saying, I'm going to do this anyway, no matter what, no matter who wants to stop me. Nobody can stop me but me. That's what courage means to me. And so when you think about the power of words that you have in your life, how do you define these other words, right? Like for me, leadership. Leadership for me means going first. Leadership for me means going first, being the guy that says, fuck it, let's get it done. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for someone else to make it happen. I'm going to make a decision. We're going to go and get it done right now. It's about choices, right? That's what leadership is, making the right choices while understanding that I very likely could fail, but trusting my instinct that I'm putting myself, my business, my clients, my family, my community in a place to be successful. Right? That's leadership. Self-actualization, that's about showing up as me no matter what. 6'4", covered in tattoos, gold nose ring, the whole nine. Gonna get more tattoos, gonna get more piercings. Like, I'm gonna live that life. That's who I am. Gonna drive a big ass truck because that's what I like to drive. And that's self-actualization, is me not bending who I am for you. And that's what I want of you too. If I were to say, if I could give, and I've said before I wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna go back on what I said. I've always said I wouldn't ever tell people the values they should have. But I do believe that self-actualization should be a value that you have. I believe it should be. Should it be? I don't know. That's for you to decide, but I believe it should be, because self-actualization is about living life on your damn terms. can you get to that? And as you go through just building all these different words, how they play a role in your life, but really sitting in this idea about courage and why that matters. Because you are courageous. To be here, to listen to this, to pick up the books, to sit and have the conversation. Because I know so many of you guys have Think Unbroken. I know how many of you have read it. I know how many of you have 8 Steps to Healing Your Inner Child. I know how many people have pre-ordered Unbroken Man, which will come out in June. And I know that because I see the numbers. And I want you to know that you're courageous for reading these books, because a lot of people are not going to read them because they're terrified, which I understand, because like even writing them and putting them out in the world, I go, man, this title is going to scare people. Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. Nobody wants to be seen on the bus reading that shit. But for those of you that do, congratulations, because that's incredible. For those of you that sit at home and read it, who have it in your ears at the gym, who listen to this show, who are part of the Unbroken Nation on all the platforms which we exist, like, you're courageous for being here. That's amazing. Like, it's so amazing, because if you think about this 5, 7, 15, 20 years ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't be talking about these things at all. And it's swept under the rug. And we are the first people, this group of you hardcore motherfuckers who are in here doing this every single day, we are the first people to put our foot in the door of opening this thing up and be like, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to stand by. We're not going to be quiet. We're going to be loud about it. We're going to learn. We're going to heal. We're going to change the world. And for that, you're courageous. And for that, I'm proud of you. And thank you for being here and being a part of this, because like, there are so many days where I'm just like, shit, we got to grow this fucking thing. And I need your help. I need you to tell people about this show. I need you to tell people about this book, your family, your friends, the people who have been impacted by this. Because like, if you don't do that, if you don't tell people about this, I can only reach so many people on my own. And if we're going to end this generational trauma together, we have got to end it together. Like, that's how this works. We're going to have to come together. And so to have the courage to do that, I know requires feeling like you have support. And of course we do. We all do. If you're a part of this community, you're a part of this community. And I want you to be a part of it. I want you to get deeper into it. I want you to take the courses and read the books, because I made them because they'll change your fucking life. Like, honestly, I believe that. I believe that they're the best books and the best courses on childhood trauma healing on planet Earth. I believe that. And that's not me being like this, facetious person. It's not, it's not hubris. Like, I believe in this program. So do the thousands of people who have gone through it. And that, to me, is why it's so special, is because they had the courage to do it. And I hope that you have the courage to step into what's next in your life. So that word, it just, I keep hearing it and I think to myself, I'm just going to do it anyway. No matter what, I'm going to write the next book. I'm going to coach the next person. I'm going to speak on the next Discord. We're going to do the next thing every single day, because that is what it takes, my friends. And if you don't know where to start, if you don't know how to step into courage, just email me, reach out to me, Michael@thinkunbroken.com, or on social @MichaelUnbroken. I'm here for you. So is the Unbroken Nation. We want you to come in the Discord. We want you to be a part of this community. And so with that said, my friends, thank you for being courageous enough to listen to this day. And please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see you. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM @MichaelUnbroken on Instagram, so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.